So I have the great, distinct pleasure of introducing a distinguished young alumnus, Fadlo Touma, graduated with his Bachelor of Engineering degree in 1966, civil engineering, then did a master's in geotechnical engineering and a PhD in 1972 at a small university known as the University of Texas at Austin. Are there any Longhorns in the room? I see at least one. 2, 3, 4. He founded the Engineering and Research International Group, which consists of several geotechnical engineering companies located in the Gulf, in Lebanon, and in the USA. And he's managed developmental projects through the Middle East for better than 4 decades. His companies employ more than 1,500 engineers, scientists, and technicians. He was also elected the vice mayor of his hometown, Abelyas, 1998 to 2004. Infamous. He served on the committee for the writing of the building code of Saudi Arabia. He was also awarded a distinguished graduate award at the University of Texas, and he's a member of the Lebanese Council for Business and Investment in Saudi Arabia. I would also like to mention and thank him again for his generous gift to the FEA, which resulted in the naming of the Fadlo and Justine Touma Geotechnical Lab downstairs. So the floor is yours, Dr. Touma.
Thank you. No notes, no slides. There was a time when one's credibility in geotechnical engineering was directly linked to how closely one came to know Karl Terzaghi or any of his disciples. Karl Terzaghi is the father of geotechnical engineering. Karl Terzaghi passed away in 1963. I was first year engineering. He should have lived longer and gave me a chance. As far as his disciples, when I was a graduate student in Austin, they made me share an office of Raymond Dawson. He was professor emeritus. And Dawson taught soil mechanics in 1941 when Terzaghi spent a semester in Austin. I went through his library, I read his notes, and maybe I listened to him talk about Terzaghi a few times. And I did shake hands with Ralph Peck, maybe one time, maybe 2. The last one was just before he died. And he's his most illustrious disciple and partner and co-author and son-in-law. So you see, if any of the genius of the Grand Master has trickled down to me, it must be undoubtedly very, very diluted and wouldn't qualify me to talk to such intelligent group about geotechnical sciences. I'm here to testify to the phenomenal growth in the geotechnical activity that happened in the Middle East in the last 40 to 50 years. When I went to Saudi Arabia in 1975, soon after the first shots were fired, I could count in Saudi Arabia maybe 25, 30 drilling rigs for soil exploration. Today, the count will easily reach 300. The multiplier of 10 applies also for lab technicians. And this, of course, far exceeds the growth in the population, maybe by a factor of 2 or 3. Our firm, Engineering and Research International, we have now offices in 5 countries: Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Emirates, Lebanon, and the United States. Our activities include soil investigation, onshore and offshore, surveying, bathymetry, oceanography, materials testing, environmental monitoring, environmental engineering. What else? We do piling, we do ground improvement. To give you an idea, some of the jobs we've done on one job, it would total like 80 kilometers of piles, 200 to 300 kilometers of stone columns. We do a lot of road asset surveys and maintenance management. Right now, we are doing a project to inspect 7,000 bridges and write the maintenance management program for it. We do a lot of corrosion monitoring and cathodic protection. This is really the scope. I'm citing all of this to inspire you. When we were students, our inspiration was from the young engineering firms that were starting to shine at that time. Dar al-Handasi, Khatiba Alami, ACE. I did not foresee this growth in geotechnical engineering, neither did Raja Elia, Hrach Papazian, and Terry Searle, my teachers in geotechnical. Nobody predicted this. So I believe and I'm confident that in your lifetime, we will see other branches of engineering rise in a similar manner. Let me speculate, give you my opinion based on my experience in Saudi Arabia of what the future will look like. I believe that the economies of the Gulf, Saudi Arabia and the Gulf, more than any other economy, will continue to shape the engineering profession in the Middle East. In spite of the regression in the oil. And let me give some fundamental reasons for this. The first and utmost reason is the political stability. There's nothing like the political stability of Saudi Arabia and the Gulf, unparalleled in the whole Middle East. That's extremely, extremely important. The second reason is the diversity of resources they have. Let me name some. Religious tourism. Saudi Arabia is the destination for 1.5 billion Muslims around the world. Dubai is now expanding their airport to accept 120 million passengers, the largest airport in the whole world. And then they have, strange enough, agricultural wealth. Saudi Arabia boasts the largest dairy plant in the world. Not Holland, not America, Saudi Arabia. And then they have, the Arab Peninsula has a huge coastline, 3,000-4,000 kilometers. They can exploit the seas, big wealth. And the mineral resources, bauxite, phosphate, gold, base metals, huge, huge complexes and railways are in place to exploit these resources. The third reason is Saudi Arabia and the Gulf, they use the oil wealth to set up an infrastructure, first class, railways, highways, communications, electricity, you name it. And then the industrial cities they have laid the infrastructure for, massive. And as a Lebanese, if I think of setting up an industry in Lebanon, I wouldn't know where to find a small piece of industrial property and the cost of energy. So these people can develop a big industrial base, and they are planning on doing it with the help of the international, the multinational companies. Yani, there was a time when any Lebanese will go to Saudi Arabia with a bunch of, handful of nails and the shakush, and he will be a contractor. This doesn't happen anymore. These people are talking about advanced technology in every field. They are ahead of us, and we need to catch up. I will say that point later on. I will dwell on it more. And then they have the finances and power to finance the transformation from oil to... It will take time. Dr. Ghassan was asking me. They are talking about 2030, when all this transformation will take place and oil will really become a secondary resource. In geosciences, I predict that geophysics will continue to rise. We're using it more and more. Tomography, electrical tomography is a routine test now for detecting cavities and so on. Marine sciences will be required. They continue to exploit their seas. They're going to need marine engineers in every way, and they will. And that's, I think, even in Lebanon, John was telling me today that he wants to talk to you about, if we develop our oil and gas, we will need people that know something about the sea, bathymetry, oceanography. If they're talking about 1,000 meter, the seafloor, we need to do geotechnical investigation in 1,500 meters of water before you reach the seafloor. And we can do it. It's being done. No. So geophysics, marine, of course, anything related to mineralogy or mining, exploration, chemistry. I'm telling you the things we are setting up for. We're doing all of that. And asset management. That's, we already are doing it, and now we are bidding on a job to operate those automated distress survey machines to survey the whole network of roads and do the maintenance management for it. And while, if we want to go into these areas, we have to have the best technology available in the world. No longer few nails and a shakush. It doesn't work. You have to, and I address also the faculty here. We go in these directions and we do the best, because these people have not been distracted by wars and civil unrest. They have been working on advancing their technologies steadily. They are ahead of us. Their universities are not bad. There is a new generation of Saudi technical people that are really qualified. So the competition is tough. There is a market for engineers in the Gulf for years to come. But we have to be on top of our field. Otherwise, there is no room for us. Because right now the ratio is 70-30, 70 Saudis to 30 foreigners. With this recession, the 30 may become, 25. But there is a room for us to stay in that market. So that's all I want to say on Saudi Arabia and the technology. I need to say some words about reflecting on my career. So I will say a few things. I don't have big words a la Bill Gates or Richard Branson. All I can tell you that some of the age-old values worked for me. The one in particular, that genius is 90% perspiration and 10% inspiration. Very true. Hard work is almost everything. inspiration, you need very little. The rest is hard work. And learn from others. Learn all the time, including your competition. They are looking at what you are doing. You look at what they are doing and learn. The second thing I want to say, I want to pay tribute to AUB. This window on America and shaped the life of this village boy. When it was time to go to graduate school, I sought advice with Raja Elia, my professor. He pointed me to Texas, his alma mater, and to his advisor, Lyman Rees. Sure enough, I went to Texas and worked for Lyman Rees. I got more than what I bargained for. Lyman Rees became a friend for life. We did so many things together. Of course, I got a degree. I brought back a wife. And business associates for life. The people I met in Texas, I still do business with them, and they are behind part of our success, for sure. So a lot of boys from the village can have their life shaped through AUB and America. I want to say, as an anecdote, I was telling Hassan earlier, work hard, be passionate, but don't take yourself too seriously. Don't miss on other things in life. Let me tell a story like this. When I was, from the age of 4 until I was 24, I spent every vacation, every weekend, every holiday, every summer at the Touma factory, our factory. And then people that knew me from that era, including classmates. Last year we had the 50th class reunion. Almost all of them were here, almost really, but we've lost maybe 6 or 7 passed away. You reckon any one of them asked me what did I do in engineering in 50 years? 0. But everyone wanted to know how was Arab. And I've been mulling over this. Why? Is Arab more important than engineering? I leave you to think about this. And and the last thing I want to say, I spoke about my friendship with Lyman Rees. The research sites were in Houston, and we traveled a lot together between Austin and Houston. So you drive for 3-4 hours, you get to chat about all sorts of philosophical issues. One time I asked him what made him happy in life, and he said the recognition of my peers. So today, you're listening to me. You make me happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.